Arcadian Vanguard presents The Wrestling News and your daily wrestling newscast for Saturday, March 2nd, 2024. Good morning, I'm Mike Sempervive. We begin today with last night's edition of WWE Smackdown, broadcast live on Fox from the Desert Diamond Arena in Glendale, Arizona. The Rock and WWE Universal Champion Roman Reigns appeared on the show to issue a challenge to Cody Rhodes and World Champion Seth Rollins for a tag team match on night one of WrestleMania.
Cody, you think you're tough, you and your new best friend, that walking clown emoji Seth Rollins? That walking clown show Seth Rollins, you think you're tough? Well, how about this? Here's the challenge. On night one of WrestleMania, the biggest tag team match in the history of the WWE. The biggest tag team match in the history of professional wrestling. It's gonna be Cody, Seth, against a Universal Champion and the People's Champion, The Rock.
The main event saw Randy Orton defeat Austin Theory. After the match, Orton was jumped by Grayson Waller, but Kevin Owens ran in and helped Orton take out both Waller and Theory.
Oh, no.
Short-lived celebration and KO's into even the odds.
Owens not going to stand for it, evening the odds. Throwing hands at Grayson Waller.
Oh, he asked KO not to throw hands. He did at least wait until the match was over, but neutralized in his attempt by Theory and Waller.
Owens living up to the moniker of Fight Owens, Fight Stunner to Theory. Waller able to shrug off the stunner. RKO!
Also on the show, Dakota Kai turned on Bayley during a tag team match against Kairi Sane and Asuka, joining forces with Sane, Asuka, and WWE Women's Champion Io Sky, and leading to the match being ruled a no contest. Afterwards, Sky, Asuka, and Sane were confronted by Jade Cargill, with Nick Aldis intervening to prevent a backstage brawl. Rey Mysterio returned to WWE TV for the first time since last year, helping Carlito defeat Santos Escobar in a street fight. In other results, Tiffany Stratton beat Naomi, and Braun Breaker squashed Zion Quinn in 7 seconds. AEW presented Rampage last night on TNT, featuring matches recorded last Saturday at the Great Southern Bank Arena in Springfield, Missouri. In the main event, CMLL's Magnus made his AEW debut, defeating Matt Sydal to qualify for the All-Star 8-Man Scramble tomorrow night at Revolution. In other scheduled results, Riho beat Trish Adora, and Claudio Castagnoli defeated Ruggiero of CMLL in his AEW debut. And in some unfortunate news, wrestler and promoter Paul Butcher Vashon, one half of the Vashon Brothers tag team, passed away Thursday night at the age of 86, as reported yesterday by his friend, wrestling historian and journalist Pat LaPrade. The team he formed with his brother, the late Maurice Mad Dog Vashon, is often listed among the greatest tag teams of all time. They held the AWA World Tag Team title for 623 days from 1969 to 1971, one of the longest World Tag Team title reigns in wrestling history. The Vashons were successful in many areas, also winning the Southern Tag Team title in Mid-Atlantic, the Texas Tag Team title, the Georgia version of the NWA World Tag Team title, and both the Canadian and International Tag Team titles in Stampede Wrestling. Butcher Vashon also formed championship tag teams over the years in various territories, with Hard-Boiled Haggerty, Chavo Guerrero Sr., Ivan the Terrible, Louis Tele, and fictional brother Stan Vashon. One of 13 children born to Montreal policeman Ferdinand Vashon, Paul entered the wrestling business in 1957 following his even more successful brother Maurice, and was later followed by his sister Vivian Vashon. Butcher and Mad Dog Vashon were also promotional partners, owning and operating Grand Prix Wrestling in Quebec in the early 1970s, and engaging in a lengthy promotional war with Johnny Rougeau's All-Star Wrestling. In June of 1971, they brought a 25-year-old Andrei Rousimov, later known as Andre the Giant, to North America for the first time. At the end of his wrestling career, Butcher Vashon was briefly a part of the WWF roster during the company's national expansion period, and although mainly used as enhancement talent, he appeared in several memorable vignettes on Tuesday Night Titans, including the infamous Butcher Vashon wedding. He retired from the ring in 1985. In later years, Vashon experienced a series of health struggles. He battled colon cancer in the 1990s, then throat cancer in the 2000s, and had a cancerous tumor removed from his skull last year. Paul Vashon was the adopted father of Luna Vashon, who predeceased him in 2010. He is survived by Dee, his wife of 30 years, as well as 5 children. Once again, Paul Butcher Vashon has passed away at the age of 86. And before we leave you today, we'd like to remind you that however you consume your content, you can find the wrestling news 24 hours a day and 7 days a week across social media. On Twitter, follow us at Wrestling News AV. Our Facebook page is also Wrestling News AV. The Wrestling News can also be found on the Arcadian Vanguard YouTube page. And for those who utilize Amazon Echo devices, just tell Alexa to play the Wrestling News podcast. And remember to make sure you add podcast at the end. Once again, for daily updates, breaking news, and more, follow the Wrestling News across social media. And that's the news for today. If anything happens, we will be here to tell you about it. No clickbait, no paywall, just the Wrestling News. The Wrestling News is a division of Arcadian Vanguard, and the Wrestling Newscast is a production of the Arcadian Vanguard Podcast Network.